Hey you, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Kerbal Space Program. My name is Satchmo, and this is episode 11. Today, we're going to try to do this mission. Build a new orbital station around Kerb. Build a new station that has an antenna, docking port, can generate power, a facility supporting at least 8 Kerbals, which is important, 4,000 units of liquid fuel, which is quite a lot, which makes me think the 6,000 is going to be intense. But anyway, 4,000 units, maintain stability, and put it in orbit of Kerb, of course. So let's go ahead and try to do that. First things first is we need some more parts to be able to do that. Space exploration here is going to give us the Hitchhiker storage container, which can support a crew capacity of 4. So definitely that. We're going to need 2 of those on our mission. We're going to get heavy rocketry, which is going to give us a skipper and a couple other things. Heavier rocketry would be important too, but maybe not right now. I also need... I might not need anything else, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I might have to... Oh, yeah, this is awesome. The large reaction wheel. You know what? That might be important this episode, too. Let's grab it. I need to upgrade R&D to be able to access it. So they put it behind a paywall, and where was that? Right here? There we are. So we have a avionics hub, and the reaction wheel, monopropellant, and a Werner engine for 160 science. Chewing away at our science, but we're still doing okay. That might be everything we need. So my theory here, my idea, is to build the thing in 2 sections, essentially 2 even sections, right? Because 8's an even number and 4 is an even number. So having the 8 Kerbals means if I just dock 2 vessels that can both support 4, and the same thing with the liquid fuel, if I can just bring up 2,000 units of liquid fuel, then I can satisfy all of those requirements instead of having to do all of that in one launch, which would be very hard to do. So first things first, let's go ahead and build top to bottom here. Let's do a docking port. Slam that on there. And let's go ahead and put... Yeah, this is going to be unmanned. I'm not going to put any Kerbals in it. I just want to send that up there. I don't want to have to worry about coming back. I forgot what I was going to do. Payload? Utility? Oh, here it is. I don't know. It just looked funny to me. And then go ahead and put the crew cabin on there right now. Let's also go ahead and put some lights on here. That'll probably be okay. You know, sometimes I like to angle these a little bit. Let's just do that. Just angle this back a little bit. Okay. So that'll be okay. Photovoltaic panels, let's do plenty of those. You know what, let's just do full symmetry all the way around. Even though I hate that it clips into the thing here. Let's do 4 here. Nope, that's not too far. Let's do 4 here. Whatever, I don't think I can escape it. I think it's gonna clip no matter what. We'll just do 8 though to make sure we have enough. Let's put a battery pack on here. We might need this. Oh, don't do that. Come back. There we go. Battery pack would be nice. And then our fuel requirements. So this is 4 people, and then our fuel requirements would be 2,000 units of liquid fuel, wouldn't it? So we need one of these, which is 1440, and then I think I like it in this orientation. How much is one of these? 720. So I'm sorry, what was this? 1440. So we need 1560 to fill out the rest of that $2,000. So 1560, or I'm sorry, 560 to fill out the rest of that. So 576. So they would just bring up just enough. I won't be using this liquid fuel. Yeah, I won't be using this liquid fuel for anything. So bring up just enough. And a Communitron. Put one of those on there. Just anywhere is fine. That's not going to hurt anything. And then check the specs again, right? Has an antenna, yes. A docking port, yes. Can generate power, yes. Facility sorting at least 8 Kerbals, so half of that and half of the liquid fuel. Looking good. Maintain stability and put it in orbit. So if I send 2 of these up, that should complete the mission. So now all I have to worry about is sending 2 of those up. First thing I want to do is think about monopropellant, which is actually where this is going to come in handy. Yeah, let's go ahead and do the couple of these. How much is that? 50? That's kind of a lot. I don't really think I'll need a ton. I tend to be pretty good at the docking stuff, so I don't think I'll need too much. We'll put a lot of those on there, and nice and spread out too, along the whole. Wow, I got that right on the. There we go. So yeah, spread out along the whole thing so I can move laterally without inducing any kind of torque. That's the small one. Here's the large one. I'll need this as well. Where am I going to put this? I might put that here. Towards the top. Okay. What else? Okay, so this thing actually needs to fly around in space as well. So now I'm going to put, let's decouple. Put a decoupler. That, and then a poodle. Okay, so that should be the thing that actually flies around in space a little bit and makes some adjustments. This should work. That's in the atmosphere. There we go. So this should do the space stuff. So now I just need to get this into orbit. I think I can. I should check on this. Now here's the thing. Since this thing has liquid fuel and oxidizer, and they burn out at a rate to when the oxidizer is gone, the liquid fuel is gone too, I don't have to worry about this fuel robbing any of the liquid fuel from these upper stage. At least that's the theory. I don't think I should. I'm pretty sure this will work just the way I have it. So, because that is a concern that I had, but I don't think it's actually a legitimate concern. Okay, so now we have to, this top stage is fine. This bottom stage needs to have about 3400 delta V to actually get us into space and into orbit. So we need this and a skipper. And that gives us almost $2,000 right there. I would rather not have to do solid fuel. My thrust to weight's terrible right now though. So I will have to do boosters. But that's $2,000 of delta V. It's quite a lot. So before I do another liquid fuel stage, let's at least consider just doing more liquid fuel. Wait, I'm sorry. What did I say? I meant to say that the other way around. I tricked myself. Before I do more liquid fuel, let's do the solid boosters and just see what the numbers come out to. But I probably will be doing liquid fuel and some solid boosters. Okay, so all that goes those decouple, and we're looking at 2908. So we're getting close to that number, 3400. We're getting close, and the thrust to weight's obviously a lot better. So, but not good enough. So let's go ahead and add some of these and that. It's off centered. Okay, and a strut. At least one. Also fuel, so we can maximize our efficiency. Delta Deluxe wings would be nice for this craft. Okay. Again, my TWR is too low, so that's where these guys come in. Okay. Nose cones for you. Nose cones for you. Put those down here. Okay, so the side boosters decouple, then those, and then wrong, you go on too. So those. Why does this thing look so funny? Oh, that's weird. Huh. You saw that? It put the other one on the other side of this instead of way over here. That was interesting. I haven't seen that happen before. Okay, where was I? All of these go together, then those decouple, then those decouple, then that and that on the same stage, s'il vous plaît. And then that can decouple off later on, so we just have this top stage. Cool. That's going to make the monopropellant a little bit more efficient. Oh wow, okay, yeah, so now it's saying that my stage 2 has 4496. So well within the range of getting into orbit with this thing. So this thing is highly orbital before you get up to this top stage. So this should be okay. This should be okay. We're going to call this Commercial Space Station Alpha, because he's going to go up first. Save. One more sanity check. Yes, boosters. Those, that. Turn off this. That, and then all top. I have some solar. I have some battery. I did grab batteries, right? Because I don't want to run out. Yeah, I've got batteries. Yeah, I have solar and batteries. That should last me a good little bit. I have the advanced reaction wheel, because this thing is pretty tall, so it's going to be hard to steer. I think I have enough monopropellant. With all this Delta V, I should be able to get pretty close and not have to use too much monopropellant. And of course, I have the control, the thruster blocks for control, my docking port, lights. Yeah, I think we're good. This should be okay. Except for that it's too heavy. I told you. I didn't tell you. You probably told me. So let's leave and let's upgrade the launch pad, and then let's just go to the launch pad and launch. Yeah, so I should be able to send 2 of these up, dock them, and what is it? Bob's your uncle? There you go. Boom, Bob's your uncle. The mission complete. I don't know where that expression comes from. I like to look that up now that I'm thinking about it. I spy a flaw in my design, so before I throw it into space and let it explode, let's go ahead and fix it. I did not strut the outside here, and that is going to torque all over the place. So there we go, that's strutted. Likewise, and you don't have to do this. Ooh, I spied another problem, which is I didn't have symmetry on when I did this. Come on, struts. I gotta take it back off. Turn symmetry on. There, here we go. And there we go. That'll kind of help the flexing at this joint right here. This will help the flexing a little bit on that upper stage. And also I have to take this back off because I don't think I had symmetry on. I don't think it's on the other side. Now I do. I see it right there. And take this one back off with the symmetry and restrut it. Okay, now I think we're good. It should flex a lot less. Let's save and launch. Yay, go. I can't say for sure. These upcoming videos, the missions are going to get a little bit longer and longer and longer, and I think I'll probably be doing a little bit more editing. I think I did some in the last video. I haven't actually done it yet, but I plan to. I keep notes as I do this. I try to be professional, and I keep notes as I go. Yeah, it looks pretty good. It's kind of wacky looking, but you know, let's just go. It does leave the launch pad. That's a a plus. I'm hoping... I thought I checked my TWR. I wonder if I had atmosphere turned off when I checked, because this thing really needs to have a good thrust to weight whenever I decouple these boosters, otherwise it'll just fall back down. Huh. I thought I checked that, but I may not have. We'll see, won't we? I think you can disable fuel crossfeed from here somewhere and stop fuel from rushing out of these, but anyway. I think we're okay. I'm not going particularly fast, which is totally fine. But we'll see in a second. We'll be looking at this number when I decouple and see if the number continues to increase. I'm thinking that it won't. I'm thinking it might be time for a redesign already. Oh yes, okay. We are just over 1 thrust to weight ratio. So yes, this has just enough to continue going up. Which, can you imagine? This thing wants to go up. Alright, let's start turning over a little bit. Now, when you're going slow, like I am, that's when leaning over can really be a problem. If your craft is continuing to accelerate, then it'll kind of continue to accelerate as you lean. It kind of doesn't care about the atmospheric forces pushing it down, because you're kind of counteracting that. But if you're going really slow and you're kind of crawling through the atmosphere, turning over is obviously it's more dangerous. You bring this prograde marker over with you, and you get a little bit more authority. I think I used words that made sense. I need to get this thing up to about 100k. I think 100k is going to be our target. 100 kilometers up. I am pulling this thing over. It does turn rather easily with that large inline stabilizer, and the fact that all 3 of these engines gimbal. You can see them wiggle as I move the thing. I do have a lot of authority. I almost have too much authority. So here we are. I'm turning it over, and I may be being a little bit too conservative. We'll see. Oh, I lost my thrust to weight. Yep. But look at that, it's coming back. So this is a craft. This is like, it seems like it's just good enough to do what I want it to do. I think I maybe have over-engineered the space stage, the upper stages, and under-engineered the lower stage. Because I think once I get into space, I'm going to have too much fuel and thrust and all that stuff. But I think here in atmosphere, I could have afforded myself the luxury of a little bit more. I might go ahead, and I'm just going to kind of do it and see what happens. I'm going to keep on burning through this and go ahead and raise my apoapsis up to around about my target apoapsis of 100. And then a circularization burn should be the last thing I have to do. I don't want to have to bump this up. I don't want to have to bump up my orbit. I think I'm just going to keep on burning. This is also going to afford me more time and space. You see, as I'm rising up, my time to apoapsis is increasing. Well, now it's starting to decrease, but yeah. I do want to plan and maneuver, though. Let me take a look back. I got a lot of fuel on this stage still. 99 and 99, 99, 0. Let's go ahead and plan a circularization maneuver and just kind of see. I might have to start burning immediately. Let's just kind of see what the numbers say when it gets up there. Around about here, it's saying a 2-minute burn. Okay, yeah, I need pretty much to keep burning. It was saying a 2-minute burn, and I'm a little under a minute away. So I just need to go ahead and burn through this. My apoapsis is going to raise a little bit, but that's okay. It's not critical that I be at 100 for any reason. And also I'm getting closer and closer to my apoapsis. So more of this energy that I'm spending is going into raising my periapsis and instead of raising my current altitude. So it's getting a little bit more efficient as I go around. I might have to keep this thing above the horizon instead of following that prograde marker. I think I'm going to keep it here at about 10 degrees. And that's going to keep this apoapsis ahead of me a little bit longer. It's going to keep me in the sky a little bit longer. Because this is a nice slow circularization burn. Only have 700 meters a second, so the rest of this burn is going to have to be done with the top stage, and that's actually going to help out pretty significantly. And of course I got to do all this again next time. But the next time I'm going to be on the inner orbit, so it should be marginally easier. Take a sip of my wine. Got some congratulatory wine from last episode. Or after last episode. And here we are. I am like right at apoapsis. I'm going to go ahead and burn prograde. Try to put all my energy into raising my periapsis. And as soon as I see that marker, I'll click it and we'll see where we are. I only got up to 103, so I didn't overshoot my target by much at all. All things considered, this has actually been a pretty good launch. And there it is. It swung around to 100 and 105. Yeah, not bad. Pretty circular. And I still have 22 meters a second on that bottom stage. So yeah, just enough fuel. Plenty of electric charge, 210, and of course I'm also facing the sun, or at least enough. I'm going to put this into hibernate mode. And not that I don't think I really need to do that. It's more to kind of demonstrate that you can. But if the thing's going to be up in space and you're concerned that electric charge will run out, you can go ahead and turn it on to hibernate. And it'll use, I think, a tenth of the electric charge, or maybe even a tenth of 1%. And maybe it's like a very, very small amount. It's a negligible amount. Anyway, so yeah, well enough. I'm pleased with that. Not great, but well enough. In fact, that whole bottom stage, now that I'm thinking about it, since he's in orbit already, that bottom stage is not going to be doing any, or the rest of that top stage is not going to be doing anything at all. So we'll see. Let's just go ahead and launch another one. Can I rename the craft? I can do edit vessel. So if I click here, edit vessel. Oh, okay. No, it just brings you into the thing. All I wanted to do is change the name, but I didn't see that button. I will probably edit out well, I mean, you'll know because you'll see it. But for the sake of time, since I had spent so much time designing this, Brocco's Modern Life. Let's go ahead and click save, and let's launch this. Yeah, I'm going to probably edit out this middle part here, and just get up there, and we'll see just the docking part of this procedure. So, see you then. All right, and here we are. We are just in space. My periapsis is at 7673, so we are just barely above the kind of carbon line. I guess you call it the carbon line. And 74 on the high end. So we're going to catch up pretty quick. We are, I'm going to estimate 70 degrees out of phase, 75 degrees out of phase with it. The other one. So we've got a little bit of catching up to do. I'm going to make sure that my craft is oriented towards the, my solar panels are oriented towards the sun, and we're just going to kind of speed up and see how fast we're catching up. And when we get down maybe 400 kilometers or so, we'll start planning some maneuvers and see what happens. So as I go around the dark side of the planet, we lose 10 units of electric charge, so we're fine. So here we are, we're catching up, kind of taking our time with it, looks like. This is about the maximum, with him being 100 kilometers up. being, right at 70, between 70 and 74 this is the fastest I can catch up to him. But that's fine. I managed to get a pretty nice orbit in terms of the plane. In fact, now that I'm looking at it, it's not as nice as I thought. I think towards the end I started burning a little bit normal, and I kind of messed that up a little bit. Okay, so now we're at 369. I don't really think this is where... Move it up a little bit. What is he at again? 101? Okay. So, let's see. I don't think I passed it up. Bring up periapsis up to 101. And then move the node around. And see when... Well, we know how much I need to burn. We just need to know when I need to burn it. And then there we are. Look at that. That's pretty close. Can I do better? But I can. Okay. So it's right past this point, which is the point I'm at now. I can move it a little closer. Let's click on it and see. Separation 10 kilometers. 9, 8, 7, 4. Let me move forward out of the way so I can pull this closer. 6, 7. It's closer still. 7. Okay, and now it starts rising again. 7.8. Okay, so that's our closest approach. And let me look at the prediction and see what the difference is here. Why? Okay, so I think part of it is to do with our plane difference. I'm wondering if adjusting the normal vector will bring us closer together, and it will. 5.8 now. 5.7. A little bit of prograde. And move it. Kind of fiddle with it a little bit. 5 is what I like. And right here we have exactly 5. So I'm going to call well enough. Warp over there. Yeah, 5. Anything under 5 kilometers is, for me, close enough. That gives you plenty of time. It doesn't take too much delta V to actually suck up that extra 5 kilometers once you're that close, in terms of like pointing your craft at the other craft and firing and everything. And also, it doesn't put you so close together that you have to immediately start making drastic maneuvers to like stop yourselves from colliding or passing each other up or something like that. So it's kind of a good buffer. 5 to like maybe 3 on the low end would be what I would consider just fine. I have a burn time of 2 seconds. Yeah, you guys at this point probably know I don't like really slow, like fast burn times. I like to have a little bit more margin of error. So I'm going to increase that to 5 seconds. It's not much more, but I'm also going to quick save. I think I haven't quick saved in a while, and I plan on messing up here shortly. So let's preempt that by quick saving. And hop onto our target node. We're about a minute away. I lied. We're about a minute and 45 seconds away. And got a 5-second burn, but of course I pass it up. This craft, I'm pulling in the opposite direction. I'm sucking up a lot of electric charge doing this too. But this craft is not easy. Oh. Yeah, he does not want to change direction. So passing that up is a big problem. Here we go. Let's hop on that. Let's hop on that target right here. Okay. Now I can warp a little bit and get me down to an appropriate time. Okay. 5, 4, and 3. Try to stay on that target best I can. And I'm going to try to chase it a little bit. Okay, that's fine. What did I wind up getting? 5.1. Inexcusable. Let's quick save, and let's do it. Now, I guess the question now is 331 meters a second. Let's switch to target mode. here's the thing. You don't have a huge window. I have a ton of Delta V up here. Yeah, screw all that. Let's just do it. What I was going to say is turning this craft around is so slow and laborious that I worry about it. I worry about taking too long when I'm up there. So I know it has some fuel in it, and I hate to waste that fuel, but we're going to waste that fuel so that way I can have a smaller ship to navigate with while I'm up here. Come around Kerbin's beautiful terrain. And we're getting close to our approach. This is well enough. Yes, this is far more maneuverable, let's say that. Now again, the first thing I do is I find the anti-target and find the retrograde, which should be down here, I think. There it is. And find the target visually. I like to visually confirm the target. Hello? Oh. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I'm at the wrong... Oh, I passed this up already. That was really fast. Whoa, that was really fast. Did we just pass each other up that quickly? Okay, let me revert. I told you. What did I say? I haven't reverted quick saves like hardly at all in this series. I can't even remember when I did. I maybe did. I think I did. But yeah, this time I goofed. All right, let's go ahead and decouple. It took me too long to bring my craft around, so let's go ahead and warp over here and do the same thing. I like to visually confirm where this thing is. There he is. Okay. Alright. And then now I can swing around and prepare myself, prepare to kill my velocity, my relative velocity to it. There we go. I accidentally passed it up. And I could have made a couple changes and fixed it on the rest of the orbit, but let's go ahead and get a little closer since it's free. And there we go. I'm not going to wait for the 5.1. I think this is well enough. Let's go ahead and start throwing that retrograde vector over there. Oops. There we go. Just pushing it at that target. And kind of hunting for the target. There it is. There we go. So I should be heading towards it directly. And 9, our relative velocity is dropping, so I'm going to come over to the prograde side of things, and I'm going to warp until my prograde drifts, because our orbits are not the same. And now that they've drifted too much for my liking, come back, bring it on. There we go. And I think I've said this probably several times before, because we've done a lot of these before, but I think it bears repeating, because this tends to be, when I see people online talk about Kerbal, this is one of the big things. It's like orbital rendezvous they tend to have a hard time with. And again, what I'll say is, I'll just repeat this one bit of knowledge, which is, when I'm bringing my prograde on towards the target, of course I'm increasing my speed. So if you are at or below a speed you're comfortable with, then you can be heading towards the target. Meanwhile, if you're going too fast already, you can do the same thing. You can still adjust your angle of approach to the target, but I would consider adjusting the angle of approach in a way that's actually going to slow your craft down. See, 14.5 meters a second is maybe a little bit fast for me right now because of how long this craft takes to turn around. I don't feel like I'm as responsive. So while I could adjust our approach on the prograde side, I'm instead going to choose to adjust it on a retrograde side. So I'm doing double duty here. I'm not only changing our approach, but I'm also kind of keeping our speed in check as well. Just trying to do double duty. Now 6.7 meters a second is a little too slow for my taste, so I know the next thing I'm going to adjust is probably going to be on the prograde side. Just checking my fuel, my electric charge. I'm being anal about that, but I'm just concerned for some reason. It's got me bothered. And here we go, coming in close. Need to adjust. There we go. And I think I'm going to come in a little closer and adjust again on the prograde side. And then I'm going to switch around to the retrograde side. And let's call it there. Let's go back around before I warp. At this point, our orbits they're becoming more and more aligned. We're having more and more similar orbit at this point. So they should do less drifting. There we go. I kind of overwarped there a little bit, but it's fine. I'm confident in my abilities. I'm going to slowly adjust this. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Just nursing that effect there. There we go, 0.2. Now, one other thing to consider. Is this 163 meters? This ship is also pretty damn tall. So it does happen sometimes when you read this thing. You're like, oh, it's fine, I'm 90 meters away. And then you crash into it. It's like, oh yeah, because it's targeting the thing on the other side of the ship. So be aware of that. Now that we're pretty close, I'm going to switch over here and I'm going to throw away this guy's fuel. I should have flung him away, but I didn't. And I'm going to select him as a target. And we are in hibernate. Remember that. Let's turn hibernate off. And let's go ahead and point at our target so we can mate. There we go. Point at the target, make both of our jobs a little bit easier. And I have a ton of fuel in this thing. Like a way more fuel than I need. I have over-engineered so much in this playthrough. But I don't mind it. Here we go. Pull it on. And I might do the rest of this. Might do the rest of this from with my monopropellant. I have to remember I have double the amount of propellant that I think I do, right? Because I have the monopropellant from this ship and the other ship, so I can make adjustments on that ship too. Let's switch over to docking mode. RCS. Oh, beautiful. Nice small adjustments. So with the RCS, I'm bringing my prograde directly onto that target. I'm going to turn RCS off. And I'm going to adjust myself a little bit. There we go. And we'll bump it until we're at 1 meter a second. And, oh, you know what? This is a great place for a quick save. And let's go ahead and see if we can't mate these guys a little bit. Okay, getting a little close. I'm going to bring that up. I'm going to switch to that mode. And I'm going to realign myself with the target. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Oops. Do the same thing here. I'm just going to realign myself just to make sure we're lined up directly. And turn RCS back on. Docking mode. And I'm just going to bump it a couple of times because we're coming in a little hot. Doink. Build a new station. Facility supporting 4,000 units and stability for 10 seconds. So let's just wait around and there we go. And of course it's on the dark side of the planet. Because why wouldn't it be? Let's go ahead and warp around. And see if we can get some of the sun's beautiful rays all over our craft. Here we are. And not that it's a ton to look at, but it is something. Nice and illuminated docking area there. Turn those off. So it's definitely not much, but I would say, let's go ahead and point this thing normal. Can I just put it in staging mode? Oh yeah. Well, I thought I was lumbering before. Go ahead and turn it normal. Now we're not going to see this craft again because again it's going to belong to another company and we're going to have nothing to do with it for the rest of this playthrough. But it was practice, and that's exactly why I wanted to do it, because when we do our own, we will be, of course, using these principles and the knowledge that we gained from this mission. There we go. Point it directly normal, so we're straight up and down, like 6 o'clock, and take a look at it. Get this nav ball out of the way. Yeah, not much of a space station, but it does have a couple of things that I like on it. First of all, it's got engines over here and over here, which would be fine for changing orbits and stuff in the future if I needed to. It's got plenty of amount of propellant. I way over-engineered this. A ton of amount of propellant. It's got lights, of course. It's got plenty of room for Kerbals. And it's long and straight, so if we wanted to, on our other designs, we could come off from over here, come off from over here, come off a little closer to the center if we wanted to, and expand this. You know, if the space station were only this and this, for instance, then adding on to it would be kind of crammed. Like if you added on in one direction, that would be that. But with all the space, you could add on over here, and then absolutely you could add on right on top of it and make a big H or make a big O if you wanted to, or whatever, you know. So this is fine for a first space station, I think. I think any space agency would be proud to own this. Like it's way over engineered with Delta V, but you know, do your own. that's what is his name? Matt Parker. Matt Parker said that during one of his math stand-up things and cracked me up. Anyway. So there we go. Mission success. We made a space station for an agency and gained a good little bit of money doing that as well. How much? Let's see. Rescue Wilney. We did that from way a long time ago. Here we go. Build a new orbital station around Kerb. You have finished construction. Here's 124,500. And 20 year reputation, a lot of reputation for that. Out of curiosity, 128,500. These cost 75 grand. So it cost 150 grand to build, and I only got 120 back. So we actually we lost money on this deal. So there you go. If we owned it, I wouldn't care, but we don't own it. I don't think, in fact, I can even fly it. I think once you do that and the contract is complete, it's somebody else's now. Oh no, you can still fly it. Or at least for now. Oh, I thought for some reason you couldn't do that. I wonder if they changed that. Because I seem to remember in the past, whenever you complete a contract like that for another agency, then it's over with, like you can't use it anymore. But I could be wrong about that. Here's the orbit. I saw this one. This is the orbit they want me to put another satellite in. That'd be kind of a fun orbit to do as well. So, alright, well, there we go. Space station, nice little challenge for us. I still have one more video to do. We have to do Friday's video. I'm trying to do these all in one big batch, so the only missions I have left are still this one, which, I mean, I might just send 2 craft in space and just transfer people just to satisfy that and get it out of the way. And then we have the new orbital station around Duna. We're going to hold on to this one for a long time because this is going to be a challenge. It's going to be a greater challenge than that last one was for sure. So let's go back to mission control and see if we can take a sneak preview of what's to come. James from orbit of Minmus would be fun. Or Ike. This is that one we just looked at. Tourists who want to go to the moon, orbit around the moon, fly by the moon, orbit around the moon. Oh, I'm sorry, Minmus. Oh, I was like, why would he do that? Orbit around the moon, fly by the moon, orbit around Minmus. Huh. That would be fun. Interesting. What else we got here? Temperature surveys. We haven't done anything like terrestrial at all. We could do something like that. Crew report, specific data. Somebody wants to land on the moon. Yeah, these are all stuff that we've already done before. So I'll figure something out. And that'll be that. Anyway, thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it. And if you like, comment, and subscribe, hang out with me in the comment section. We'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, ask any questions you want to ask. And other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next episode. So thanks a bunch, and I'll see you then.